Hey, what is up guys? I'm KBHD here, and first of all, yes, there is a PS4 in the house. A lot of people were asking, so thumbs up if you actually want to see me cover that. Let me know. But this is a first look at a curved smartphone. This is the Samsung Galaxy Round. I'm actually personally a bit more excited for the LG G Flex because that seems way more unique than this Galaxy Round is as a product, but there's still a lot of interesting things that we can look at in the first available curved display smartphone. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a full look. So at first glance, the Galaxy Round actually doesn't come off as all that crazy of a product. It seems like just your typical Samsung smartphone. In fact, it looks like its older brother, the Galaxy Note 3, quite a bit. It has that same 5.7-inch 1080p AMOLED display on the front, the same faux leather stitching on the back, though a slightly different, more brown leather color, and it really actually shares a lot of the specs and hardware with the Galaxy Note 3, like the excellent 13-megapixel camera and the flash. And you know what? That's exactly what this is, a curved display Galaxy Note 3. I'll have my full Galaxy Note 3 review right below that like button if you want a refresher on how awesome that device is, but because this Galaxy Round is curved, it makes a few trade-offs and then comes back at those with a few bonus features. So here are all the differences between the Galaxy Round and the Galaxy Note 3. Number one is the backing. The back of the Galaxy Note 3 is obviously flat and of course has that leatherette stitching pattern we all know on the back. The back of the Galaxy Round is a little different. When you take it off, it's actually a bit more rigid, more bent into the curved shape of the round to fit the back of the phone. Now, it's obviously still plastic. It's not some crazy new material or anything like that. It's very familiar, but it's a little bit more rigid because it's bent into that shape. Now, of course, when you remove the back, you reveal numbers 2 and 3 that are different, the speaker and the battery. Now the speaker is obviously, it's just a little bit bigger. It fires out the back of the phone instead of the bottom like on the Note 3. But the battery is a bigger difference, so it's actually a bit smaller. In fact, it's a totally different shape, and it's shrunk down from 3,200 milliamp hours to a tall, slender 2,800 milliamp hours. This is because the phone is curved, so there's less room to fit a battery in the phone when you curve it like this. Now, even though that's only a relatively small difference, it's a 400 milliamp hour difference. Now, I still get all-day battery out of this phone with a 2,800 milliamp hour battery, but Samsung went the extra mile here to bring us to number 4, which is the included accessories. Samsung bundles an extra battery and a second battery charger, like an external battery charger for this Galaxy Round. That's why the box looks so much bigger than the Galaxy Note 3 box. You get all these extra accessories with it. So this battery charger charges your secondary battery via USB 2.0. You still can charge the phones via USB 3.0, but I mean, that's nice. That's a nice touch. I'm glad they threw an extra battery in there. Now, another difference in accessories is the obvious lack of an S Pen in the Galaxy Round. It's not part of the Note line technically, but I mean, it's also curved, so there's really not that much space to put an S Pen. So the next difference is by the numbers. The Galaxy Round is technically a little bit thinner and a little bit lighter than the Note 3, but not really by all that much. It's about more of the way it feels in the hand. It just feels slightly more compact, but that's not because of the thinness and the lightness. That's because of the biggest difference between these phones, the display. Now again, on paper, it starts off very similar. They both have a 5.7-inch 1080p AMOLED display, and they're both gorgeous and very vivid and very bright. But the slight curve radius on the Round makes it stick out, quite literally. The shape is actually really slight, very subtle, almost seems like the middle of the phone is still flat while only the sides curve up a bit. It's a really interesting shape, and after using the phone for more than a week, I'll tell you what, don't judge me, I totally got used to it. You don't really notice the curve when looking at the actual images on the display after about a day or so, but you can still always feel the curve with your finger, and it feels nice. Now this curve radius does a few things. One, I think it actually improves the extreme viewing angles by a tiny bit, which isn't particularly useful for a lot of people, but hey, that's a thing that I noticed. And it also creates some weird reflections to this day that distract me a little bit when I look over on my desk and I see this warped reflection looking back at me. Kind of strange. And number 3, it actually shrinks the amount of stretching you have to do to use this phone with smaller hands. And I feel like it made a significant difference, especially noticeable when typing. Typing on this keyboard on this display is way easier on the Round than it is on any other similar sized flat smartphone. Now the Galaxy Round has pretty much identical software to the Galaxy Note 3 in the Korean market, but Samsung threw in this neat software feature called the roll effect. So basically when the phone is sitting with the screen off, you can roll it onto its side and get a quick glance at your notifications and the time and the battery status. It's sensitive to the accelerometer too, so you can literally just lift it up sideways and get the same effect. Unfortunately, it's hard for the phone to determine when this is being done on purpose, so there's like a really solid delay between you tilting the phone and showing the preview, and that sucks because I think it's going to prevent people from using it, especially when it doesn't take much more effort to just simply tap the power button and check your notifications the regular way. But besides all the Samsung gimmicky stuff, I am seriously a fan of using the Galaxy Round. I really enjoyed it. I got judged so hard on Google Plus and Twitter for admitting that I really am into this. I'm excited to see what other form factors sort of emerge that we see in 2014.